Well, good afternoon and welcome back to the Lassagess playing field. And this afternoon, this is one of the major eliminators for today. The Ginger Generals going up against the Clove Challengers. Here's what at stake. What is at stake here is a spot in the finals to meet the Nutmeg Warriors. The Nutmeg Warriors, of course, would have gone through already after a superb performance yesterday. And Andre Fletcher and the Nutmeg Warriors are sitting, waiting for the winner of this encounter. Preston McSween has had some good momentum going his way for the Clove Challengers. And if anything were to be taken from yesterday from the Ginger Generals, it would be that magnificent, explosive 86 from Johan Jeremiah, the master blaster Johan Jeremiah yesterday. He was on fire, 86. So if there's anything to be taken away, it would be that. And that is the story here this afternoon. We're getting ready for the game. The players are out in the middle. The umpires are out. The opening batters are out. The scores are ready. We are ready. And Justin Hector is with me. My name is Jason Skeet. Good afternoon again, everybody. It's time for cricket. Justin?
Yes, good afternoon. Trust you had a good lunch, a good rest, and you're ready now for the action. The main thing now.
Laurie Williams is up and first ball on target. So Laurie Williams, he's been very economical. Javed Hazard is outside there with Kellis Andrew for the Clove Challengers. Clove has played some exceptional cricket. They've found themselves just rising and peaking at the right time. This is going to be a keen contest between these two. He's on target, Laurie Williams. Laurie Williams, very economical, not express quick, but he's on target all the time.
Indeed. And, of course, being a left-handed medium fast bowler, he poses a different challenge for the right-handed batsmen especially, and there are two right-handers out there.
Faster one and bowled him. He's gone. He's gone. Laurie Williams has struck, and the Clove Challengers are in trouble.
Yes, in trouble because it's the wicket of Hazard. It's a gun who can really get them off to a very good start, but not a very good shot. That delivery pitch hitting the top of middle and leg, and he was looking to swing it away somewhere over the onside and made no contact. He missed, and of course Williams hit.
Well, that's how Laurie Williams bowls. He's a wicket-to-wicket kind of guy. And as you said a few minutes ago with his left-handed delivery, there's some natural movement. The right-hander always has a problem with him. So Darren Ned walks out. The Clove Challengers pegged back very early. None for one.
Yes, and not the right length, really, to attempt a shot like that.
A lot at stake in this game. A spot in the finals against the Nutmeg Warriors. Andre Fletcher and Shadrach Descartes. These Nutmeg Warriors are waiting. It's a loud appeal. This ball was just drifting way behind the right-hander. Good one, close one. The umpire not moved at all.
He just clipping the pad on his way.
They get the first run, just a single. So Laurie Williams is bang on target. Heard you made mention about the weather conditions earlier. An awesome day for cricket today. A maximum of 32 degrees in these parts. It's going to feel like 37. That's according to our friends at the meteorological office here at the Maurice Bishop International Airport in Point Celine. Some good cricket. He's bowling a vice grip, Laurie Williams. He's tight as wax. 1 for 1 after 1.
Yeah, so Larry Williams' intent and really picking some cloves here this evening. I don't know how much, whether he was ever into farming, whether having to go to the mountains to pick cloves. It's quite an experience, Jason. I don't know if you've ever experienced that either. But pretty good over by Williams. He's been there and thereabout. He haven't given the batsman any room to free their arms. In fact, he did deceive, I thought, Hazard badly with the length and a delivery. Probably anything just shipped back into the right hand to a certain extent and just clipping the top of the bill, as you would say. Just picking the bill, then, if I should put it that way. And that was it for Hazard, and it was a good start for Larry.
Davis Charles will operate from the Riverbank end. He's wearing number 50. Clove challengers are facing a challenge. No, I've never been to the mountains to pick clove, and at my age, I don't think I will be venturing. I know exactly what battles to fight. I didn't get to this age by guessing them. As over the infield is going to go down to backward, a point for 4, sorry. And it wasn't a convincing shot, but it's 4, and Darren Ned will welcome it. The Clove challengers will welcome it as well.
Yes, I think it was intended. He really wanted to hit it up and over backward point, and he did succeed in doing that. So at the end of the day, it was a good shot, almost like a release shot for Darren Ned.
Short of catch this time. It comes a lot squarer, but still the same result. Another 4. So the boundaries coming in the second over. 2 consecutive boundaries for Darren Ned. Davis Charles, the bowler.
They have to be careful at this point with Darren Ned at the crease. He can really get off very quickly. And before you know it, you can really put your backs to the wall.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be close. This is going to be close. This is going to be close. Yeah, they're going to refer it. We're going to have to wait and see. The fielders are pretty sure that he's gone.
Yeah, in, man, in.
The keeper is suggesting that he's in, but those in the outfield were almost certain he's gone. Well, let's wait and hear what the umpire has to say about it. We're going to have a look.
Quite often the keepers, well, may or may not be correct, but it probably has the best view of it. Well, let's watch and see. It's not yet in the frame for sure.
Neither of them, ball nor batsman, in the frame just yet. Keep your eyes glued now. This is where it gets interesting. He's not there. He's not there. He's gone.
Yes, he's not there.
He's gone. He's gone. So, more drama here at Lassa Just Playing Field. The Clove challengers need to start getting a handle on things, but it was some exceptional work in the field and by the wicket-keeper for the Ginger Generals.
Yeah, because it was not the best of throws. One realized that the keeper had to take a step almost away from the stumps to collect the ball and then to get it back onto the stumps. It was a pretty good bit of wicket-keeping, and in classic wicket-keeper style, just picking the bails basically and finding the batsman short of his ground. It's a game of millimeters, and it was probably just millimeters short.
Well, Devani Smith has some work to do. He's got a whole lot of work to do. He's got to, today is a day he may have to play for his salary. This is a very interesting game for both teams, looking for an opportunity to get to the finals to play the Nutmeg Warriors. And Clove challengers are steering down the barrel. They're 9 runs for 2 And we're halfway inside the second over. We haven't gone anywhere yet, but they have slipped very quickly.
Very good captaincy to bowl the right arm, like the spinner, and especially with the left-hander in now.
Just one, lad, just one.
Captain of the Ginger Generals, Johan Jeremiah. We were speaking about him for days now, not getting off with the bat. He was due for something massive and he turned up yesterday and was explosive. Got to 86. Well, that was yesterday. He's going to need to replicate something special here today, even if it means rotating his bowlers to perfection. He's gotten this one. He's going to go the distance. You get one. It should have been two. I suppose when you're losing wickets, then everything looks dicey for you. Should have been an easy two.
Yes, and also it was a lucky escape too, in the sense that the ball took the bottom portion of the bat, and they feel almost getting pretty close to it. Again, it has to run those runs.
Come on, man. From behind.
Less aerial this time. Good work out in the field there for the Ginger Generals. The captain, Johan Jeremiah, doing the tidying work. We've got some international cricket being played as well. The ICC T10 Cricket World Cup. I know you've been following that, Hector.
Yes, indeed.
An ardent cricket fan. What happened in that match day between... I'm going to get it for you.
South Africa.
Yeah, I'm going to get it.
And England. So England will have bearings on the West Indies' fate.
Ball is coming left arm over.
So Laurie Williams will continue. They've been electric outside there, the Ginger Generals. South Africa winning by 7 runs. South Africa racking up 163 for 6 in their 20. And then limiting England to 156 for 6. So South Africa winning by 7 runs. That's good bowling.
Talk to me, Annette. Keep going, keep going.
Later on tonight, the West Indies will be in action against the United States of America. Kensington Oval in Barbados. Stiff bowling by Laurie Williams.
Indeed, very, very stiff, as I say. Gun barrel straight he's bowling and asking the batsmen to take the chances. And so far, they've been pretty watchful against him.
Ah, there's a chance going down. The nick was as loud as you can imagine. It was healthy. And just eluding Gian Benjamin there. He should have taken it. He got his hands to it. Look at it.
Come, fellas, straight to hand, please.
Yes, he should have at least gloved that. He's a very short man. Doesn't have a lot of reach, but he did get there. He got the glove to it. It just didn't stick in there. And of course, with South Africa winning today, it means that it has.
This one is turned onto the onside comfortably. That's one. Yeah, South Africa beating England today. That's good news for the West Indies.
Yes, it has certainly thrown the group wide open again. Run with now will become a very important thing.
West Indies will need to pour and arise their batting. Rovman Powellerish their batting. Oh, that's a pretty delivery. So at the end of Laurie Williams' spell, after just 3 runs coming off of it and picking up just 1 wicket, it was a blinder of a good wicket from Laurie Williams where he bowled Hazard for duck.
Thought that probably Hazard needed to just look. He should know Larry Williams and probably to just take a couple of 1 or 2 deliveries to assess situation. Didn't do that. Not of going after him and he paid a heavy price.
So the Ginger Generals, of course, they finished at the bottom of the table last year, and now they're playing for a chance to go into the finals. They've done some work, of course. Davis Charles is going to bowl his second over. He went for 11 in his first. That's hit. He's teed off on him. That's cleanly struck. It will go the distance. Yes, 6 runs.
Pull it back.
It don't go so close to Ned, too close. Delivery tossed up and Ned accepting the invitation, and more often than not, he does show up to the party.
Also, we've got a big game coming up this afternoon. It's a wide ball. Big game coming up this afternoon. Surprised I'm not seeing you featured in this one, Hector. I mean, what's up with that? Are you injured?
No.
Can't beat the infield.
Keep going, Bundy. Just one.
Miscued, so they've not been able to dismiss Davis Charles as much as they want to save and accept a ball that's spooned over his head and went the full distance for 6. But just 8 runs coming off his over so far. Still 3 legal deliveries remaining. Celebrity squad and the GCA All-Stars playing this afternoon at 5 o'clock. I'm going to give you the run through of the teams in just a little bit. I would have attempted squeezing one there.
Yeah, well, the pace off has been a real problem for the batsmen.
He's teed off on this one. This one has gone the full distance. He's made good connection. And Devani Smith picked it nicely.
It's good to see the young man getting into his stride in that way. A delivery again into the pitch, but badly line, not quite the line he should have bowled. Bowled just probably just around the leg stump, and that's easy picking for a batsman of a batter of such talent.
It's cleanly struck. They're waiting for the ball to get back into play. At the end of this tournament which ends tomorrow, the young cricket enthusiasts, the young men around this vicinity, they could search these bushes and boy will they find treasures, because a lot of balls disappeared here. This one is going to go again, but it shouldn't beat the fielder outside there in mid-wicket. There's a man deep on the mid-wicket boundary. Just one. It brings up the end of the over, the end of the 4th over. That signals the end of the power play. and the 29 runs coming out of the power play. That's not good enough for these Clove challengers. And worse than that, they've lost 2 wickets.
Yes, indeed. And I think the bowlers did a pretty good job, especially the slower bowlers. They really did tie the Clove challengers down, and as a result of that, they're a little bit behind the 8 ball. And with this two, if these two would remain, I think they would go a long way in probably pushing, increasing the rate and pushing it up to somewhere, and going somewhere to in setting a total which might be a little bit difficult to chase later in the evening. Although earlier on I made mention of Jeremiah. Of course, he had two similar knocks. One, I think he made 60 something early in the tournament, and waited until yesterday to exploit himself again. One waits to see what he'll do today again.
So John L. Eugene will come into the attack for these Ginger Generals. Eugene is right arm off break. He fires it in a lot. Doesn't generally give the ball a lot of flight, but you will be well advised to give it some flight and look for some grip here on this placid surface. Reverse sweep, well played. Just for the single. I always think that the reverse sweep is a risky shot, and I'm not going to risk it just to get one. I think the reward must outweigh the risk.
You're certainly right. And especially he would have been reversing now to the player who was then at backward at fine leg, and because he reversed, he would have been find that fielder. Likely he would find that fielder. With a conventional sweep, he might have gone over the fielder's head.
The reward has to outweigh the risk. Well, in the field, they've been very bubbly in the field, these Ginger Generals. They've been quick to react, not staying on their heels, but on the ball of their feet. And so far it has worked for them. They've limited the Clove challengers to a lot of singles when there should have been 2. Good connection. That's gone. That's 6. Devonnie Smith has opened up the arms.
Yes, but this is a fairly good passage of play for the Ginger Warriors, although Smith was able to smash this one away for 6. But it's
He's gone with him again. More runs, 4 more. Reverse sweep. This time the reward was absolutely magnificent.
yes, this time he didn't look to keep it down. He went over, up and under and over, and got the result necessary he really was looking for. Can't recall seeing his uncle playing those shots.
With a little bit more respect this time. 1, the call is 2, and comfortably in the end. 43 for 2 at the end of 5.
Still a little way from where probably Clove challengers would like to be at this stage. 5 overs has gone. They are at the midway point, and they're only at 43 runs and over. At that rate, they wouldn't get to 100. They probably wouldn't get to 90. So I think to be safe, they will have to look at a total of about 100 to 110. But of course, they can look to pick that up at the back end as long as they has wickets in hand. That's the key thing.
So there's going to be a change of bowling now coming from the Riverbank end. This Lasser just playing field, of course. He's got a very good wicket. We've seen how these wickets would have held up over the last few days. This tournament started on the 8th of June, and they've used 3 surfaces so far, mainly 2, but they've used a 3rd one, and it has held up very quickly, very good. The ground staff doing an awesome job here. So Cleve Bartholomew will get into the action from the Riverbank end. That's the end closer to the main road. And he's heading to the main road with this one. Darren Ned sends him over into the Riverbanks for 6.
Yes, well, one has to expect that. You don't pitch that ball up so close to Darren Ned, and I think we have seen that's about the 2nd time we have seen that shot being employed this afternoon, and it's a lucrative one for him. Just bowling full a bit outside the off stump, and no challenge for Ned to put that away.
Darren Ned has gone to 25. He came in the fall of the first wicket. Hazard. Devonnie Smith is on 23. 49 for 2. You think they're about 15 or 20 runs short at this stage?
Yeah, maybe 10 or 15. Probably they would have preferred to be somewhere closer to 60. But reality is the slower bowlers have certainly strangled the batters. So far, I thought they have all bowled pretty economical.
It's been a hot afternoon here at the Lassages playing field. Of course, this area, Lassages, that's the home turf of Anderson Peters. And this is the ground where he trains. He's out on duty, preparing and for the Summer Olympics in Paris. Olympics in Paris gets underway in July and going through to August.
Anderson has just participated in a meet, I think, may have been at Helsinki.
Finland,
yes.
Placed 4th there. 82 point something was his distance. He's working his way back, trying to get up to 85 or 88, somewhere thereabout, in time for the Olympics. We wish him all the best. July. This time with some more respect. It's going to be a close single, but he's safe. He's all right. The Summer Olympics games from July 26th to August 11th. A lot of folks are going to be glued to their television, self included. What do you look forward to most at the Olympics? What sport do you, what discipline, I should say, do you look forward to most?
I love the 400 meters.
I wouldn't ask why. I think I know the answer.
Not so much that, but anyway, back to that.
Yeah, more runs here. And Devonnie Smith, he's gone through the square leg for 4. Why the 400?
Coming from the parish of St. John, where we've been blessed with so many middle distance runners, it's sort of something that has grown into me. So I kind of love the middle distances.
You guys, ball man.
That was my thinking, obviously. And then with that being the home of Kirani James, I mean.
I didn't want to call his name.
Well, you wouldn't, but I would day and night. He's a diligent, very good ambassador. Good young man. And this a good shot too, but he can't beat the fielder down there in the deep. Just one, a direct hit. Some good fielding. The Ginger Generals, they've been on target. They've not missed a step. They've peaked at the right time, these Ginger Generals.
Indeed. There's always a notion that the teams which peak pretty early struggles at the back end of tournaments.
Oh, we've seen that for sure.
Guys, ball man.
Other cricketing action today as well. Oh, that's more runs. That's more runs. That's Darren Ned in form. That's Darren Ned in form for you. That's exquisite.
That was beautifully played. And especially against the spinner, we had to make his own pace. Just allow the ball to come onto him and open the face of the bat rather late and picked a gap that was not much of a gap, but did manage to get through with a small gap away to the boundary for 4.
Darren Ned has come to the crease and has turned on the heat for these Clove challengers. He has brought them far. The partnership has yielded 51 runs now. And they've raced to 60 for 2 after 6.
So these players are pretty intelligent and they're probably playing it pretty correctly. Picking up the 2s, picking up the 1s, picking up the odd boundary when it's available, and getting the 6s in and between. And I think they clearly understand that anything they will need to score somewhere around 100, 110 probably to feel that they have a chance in this game.
Sri Lanka women and West Indies women in an encounter today, a lopsided encounter. The West Indies women, of course, losing all 3 one-day internationals to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka women making 275 for 6 and then dismissing the West Indies for 115 runs, a difference of 160.
Not surprising, of course, without Eileen Matthews. And such an important cog in the West Indies wheel.
Turn for 1, 2 is going to be close. Yes, that looks like danger. That looks like danger. They're calling for the referral upstairs, but I think more than anything else, he's gone.
One moment of indiscretion, misjudgment probably could cost Darren Ned and Clove challengers his wicket. It would be a big wicket if he should go at this point. And it's left to be seen, but it's very close indeed. The ball is coming in now. And it's not even in the frame. Well, it's very close. Maybe they'll have to look at it again. Maybe look at another frame because it was very close.
Oh, you're gonna have another look at it. It was tight. Good for the batsman. He grounded his bat and came through. So he might just have made it. The umpires maybe do not need a second look.
For what we have been looking at, it probably should require, yes, a second look. Let's see where he is. The ball is in. It's a long way out. He's out. What do you think?
We have to slow it down just a little bit. My eyes are not as good as yours. I need an extra pair. No shame in that game for me. It was really tight. If he's in, it's just marginal, just a hairline, nothing more than that.
See, it's a game of millimeters, yeah? Dead close there.
Well, it shouldn't take this long. But while they're trying to sort that out, let me remind our viewers here that, of course, we've got the celebrity squad coming up against the Grenada Cricket Association's All-Stars. That match will start at 5 o'clock this afternoon. I'm particularly interested in seeing the celebrity squad perform. They've got some noticeable names in this squad. Senator Nolan Cox, Ron Redhead, the Member of Parliament for St. George Northeast. Nealon Pascal, former West Indies bowler. Of course, Junior Murray, former West Indies wicket keeper as well, is in that squad. And that's about all. And, well, of course, Delisha Francois. And that's about all the cricketing professionals we would have there. These three, Francois, Murray, and Pascal.
Not really. Olive Boise would certainly back himself there.
I said
We have
cricketing.
another look.
I said cricketing professionals. You've got to slow it down. Nah, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone.
He's gone. Yeah, he's gone for sure. Yeah, so the news will come now. He's gone. He's gone. They've received the news now. The dreaded finger will be lifted. And Darren Ned will be on his way. Yeah, I said genuine professional. So
I heard you.
Jalen Boise, Olive, Peck Jones, Leadneck George, Shondell Dasha Mede, Squeezehead, that's Keishon Hazard, Owen Andel, DJ Kingpin, and Merv, which is Andel Matheson. So, in as much as a lot of these folks play cricket, and they've got some good shape and form, but running around outside there on the field, it's not that easy. I always tell people, when you're retired, stay retired. I've learned my lesson where that is concerned in sport. Folks are asking me, why not me? Are you mad?
You stayed where you are.
Of course. I'm comfortable in these spots now. Those days are long behind me. All right, so 61 for 3. The fall of the wicket of Darren Ned, run out by Bartholomew for 32. And that has brought Haston Jackson to the middle. He's there with Devani Smith on 28. They're going at just under 10 runs and over. And they're going to need to step that up with, what, just about 3.5 overs remaining. 23 deliveries still in this innings. They would need to step that up. They're going to need to have some sharp running between the wickets. And, of course, they need to clear some boundaries, because 62 for 3 at this stage can be considered pretty pedestrian.
Yes, and probably still a far cry from 100, 110. For a distance away. I just get a feeling that they would need about 100, 110.
Well, we've seen low totals defended here on this ground, and we've seen it done comfortably. So even a low score does not necessarily mean that you're out of the woods, and even a high score doesn't mean that you're safe. We saw that yesterday, of course, with the Cinnamon Pacers. Cinnamon Pacers were well on course with an explosive score, and then lost everything on the back end because of this Johan Jeremiah young fellow. He was looking to crash John L. Eugene over mid-wicket. That one would have probably struck the lights on the pole. Good connection. Just one.
Back up.
Just one delivery remaining in the 7th over. Clove challengers, they're up against it. Smith has called for 2. They're going to have to decide against it. 1 is comfortable, 2 would have been suicidal. And at the end of 7, 65 for 3.
Yes, I think they were really held back, pegged back by the spinners. And I think they will do well to reach 100 now. Just so the most beautiful pictures, the RC Church in the backdrop there. Really Beautiful scenery here.
It's P.T. Esperance Catholic Church.
Yeah.
I know my history. P.T. Esperance Catholic Church up on top of the hill, cascading. Those areas up there are areas that were Thebaid and Maltese. Are you from these parts?
No, I'm not.
Neither am I. I'm just a student of geography, history, and a number of other things.
Apretut. In the backdrop. Very interesting French names still exist. It's a bit of our history and people who sadly not enough of us speaks French, I think.
He's made good connection on that one. It's, tough luck, hard luck, misfield down there. And beating the fielder. Peeling off a thick outside edge. A lot of these villages and neighboring islands, of course, because of the French inhabitants, have carried a lot of those French names. Yeah, he's going to be penalized, of course. The umpire, they're very, very rigid when it comes to these wide balls. They spare absolutely no one.
It's very clear as to the strategy here of Williams, wanting to push the ball wide and full, having the batsman to reach for it. The first delivery was a pretty good one, which went for 4.
He's made connection with this one, and it's gone. Another 4 through the offside. So Devonnie Smith has turned on the heat. He knows they need boundaries, these Clove challengers, and he's given them the much impetus they need. Wide and punished.
Yeah, probably too predictable now. Yeah, all the deliveries so far were full and wide outside the off stump, and Smith was able to set himself and shimmer outside the off stump and be able to make contact and get it away.
He's made good connection. Does it have the legs to go the full distance? No, it doesn't. And he's caught down at long off. So Devonnie Smith, he really needed to turn on the heat. But at some point, you believe something was going to give. He's caught down in the deep for 37. Johan Jeremiah doing the tidying up work down there.
Yes, and of course, Williams sticking to that plan, and I think that is what was important, sticking to that plan of full and wide and asking the batsman to go fetch it, the batter to go fetch it. He went probably one occasion too much because he really had to reach for this one, couldn't keep it down, and was caught by Jeremiah in the deep. So it's a good wicket to get. It will again slow things down for the Cloves. 74 for 4 and still in danger of not quite getting to 100.
Well, a lot of that could change because the captain now strolls out to the middle, Preston McSween. He's a left-arm medium fast bowler, but he can pick up a few with the bat. And if they come into his half, they can most definitely see the ball disappearing in the distance. So he would be backing himself to at least get a few here. His Clove challengers are 74 for 4. And we're halfway through the 8th over.
Well, we know from experience from his performances with the Volcanoes that he has done it for the Volcanoes in the past. He has been part of useful partnership and has contributed useful runs. The regional tournaments.
Yeah, a couple of players in these squads would have played for the Windward Islands Volcanoes. Certainly would have played for their Windward Islands home teams. Wicketkeeper Gian Benjamin, of course, Windward Islands wicketkeeper, does play a lot of cricket in Dominica. Speaking about some of the French names in some of these islands, Rosalie and De Blanc, Marigot and Good Hope and Bracu. In places like Dominica. Have you ever been to Dominica?
No, not ever.
Along the ground, just one.
So just like Dominica, we got the Marigot here. Marigot, what we call Marigot. I think in French they may have pronounced it as Marigot.
It's Marigot. Dominica has their T10 starting on Sunday. Ah, this is dangerous. He's got to be careful now, Jackson. His head is in the air. He was nowhere near that one for that shot. He must be lucky to survive it.
Williams is a very smart bowler, and he's really going through the variations now. Really mixing it up and having the batsmen really in a little bit of problems.
Dominica has their Dream 11 Nature Isle T10 tournament, which bowls off on Sunday as well. So a lot of these players here will be traveling to Dominica after. He's made connection with this one. Yes, and Haston Jackson sends him into the trees for 6.
Change of pace, looking to go harder into the pitch, and the ball getting up to a rather comfortable height for Jackson. In fact, he was looking for that for a while now, and managing to get it in the getting it in the right place, and scoring maximum, making maximum use of it.
At the end of 8, they are 81 for 4. The Clove challengers, a little bit of a rebuilding they have. They're going at just above 10 and a little bit. 10.13, that's what they're going at. They would need to get that up, particularly for these Ginger Generals who would have seemed to struck form in recent days, recent hours. The GCA All-Star Celebrity Team, Shirl and Francois. Anisha Thomas, she played some cricket for Grenada, and of course, a staple in the Grenada women's team. Clyde Telesford, John Sylvester, Lyndon Joseph, those are all popular cricket names that we've come to know. Lashley John, Errol Chetram, Randy Alwich, Dennis James, John James, Robert Campbell. And if I have to back a team here, I would put my money on the GCA All-Stars and not the Celebrity Soca Stars.
Of course, the All-Stars, of course, was chosen from a tournament that was held right here. Of course, I did feature a bit in that tournament.
Oh, you did?
It's not good enough to
do
be the
tell.
All-Star team.
Do tell. You should not have said it because you know I'm going to pry. But we're going to get to that in just a little bit. Haston Jackson and Preston McSween is out there in the middle, 81 for 4. Jackson is on 8 and McSween is on 1. 2 overs remaining. And the Ginger Generals, Johan Jeremiah and his Ginger Generals. Bartholomew comes up and Bartholomew goes for 4 straight, back past him. And that was brutally struck by McSween.
Of course, and in a good area too, straight back down the ground, splitting the long on and long off. None of them could have gotten across in time as it was well struck. And you probably see a few more of that from McSween.
Same shot. Straight back down the ground. This time the man comes across and does the tidying work. Good work down there. That looks like a Shea Duncan.
Yeah.
And he does the tidying work, preventing the boundary. But McSween, middling so far. He's gone the aerial route this time. And that has gone the full distance.
They have to be careful here, Ginger, because you can well get away from them in the next few deliveries. A delivery again pitched up to Jackson, and he has some power. And certainly it was coming almost down in front of us here.
Jackson looking to go with him again. Anxious moments here, and he's taken down in the deep by Johan Jeremiah. Straight down the throat. Jackson looking to go over the main pavilion and only getting as far as Johan Jeremiah. So another wicket goes down.
Well, of course, it was again smart bowling by the bowler, asking him again to repeat the stroke. And as we know in cricket, no two deliveries actually the same, and they may look similar. You may think as a batter you can do the same thing, and that's when the error comes in.
The Clove challengers losing another wicket. Darren Hippolyte comes out to the middle. The Clove challengers are 92 for 5. And they've got 10 deliveries remaining. 8 deliveries remaining.
So I'm not a betting man, but probably I would like to think that they would get somewhere close to 110 shoot from here.
Which one is it, that one? The first one? Okay. That's next stump.
It's just around 20 minutes after 3 local time. Good afternoon to our friends in Dominica. We've been speaking about your T10 that's coming up. And our friends in the Dominica Cricket Association have been working diligently. Kimara, E2 and all the others, good afternoon. I know you're viewing.
Wide ball.
Wide ball down the leg side. Score moves on. It's been very sticky for the last couple of days. We're in that season where the weather changes without or with very little warning. We're in the season of wind and water, the Atlantic hurricane season. This could be dangerous, anxious moments here. Duncan is not going to make the catch, but he's certainly going to save the boundary. He's got a good arm. 95 for 5. Darren Hippolyte on 2. Preston McSween, he's on 6. He's resting on his bat at the non-striker's end. He's bowled him.
Yeah.
You can hear the sound of timber. Darren Hippolyte goes for 2. He's bowled by Cleveland Bartholomew. And the Clove challengers are now 95 for 6.
Once again, yes, as I said, you could have heard the loud ping as it clipped the top of the leg stump, coming down the track, and the one which was just coming back into him a bit and looking to heave it over the onside. It could have probably would have been better if he had looked to hit it straight down the ground. Instead, he went for cow corner. And of course, the bowler who was on target manages to hit the target.
Skipper. Skipper.
So, Clove challengers, they've been losing wicket in bunches. Kazari Charles now coming out to the middle to join his captain. Kazari Charles has not been featured a lot in these T10s, but he has an opportunity here now to do something. They're still playing for a spot in the finals, still a lot at stake. A lot of cricket to be played still. They can't give up just yet. Kazari Charles. Preston McSween out there in the middle. $95 for 6.
Of course, the captain is out there and would be doing his own assessment of conditions.
Oh, he's missed just about everything there. 5 deliveries remaining.
Again, good bowling by Williams. To say he's been going through the variations.
Preston McSween has gone with him. He's not going to get the boundary. They're going to challenge for 2. They do get it comfortably in the end, or do they? Or do they? They've got to refer this. This is going to be interesting. So Preston McSween was almost ambling. And boy, some anxious moments. Well,
May have that final stride.
that is going to require some looks from a different angle. If we do have it, but it's going to be very close. A direct hit is always... Here we go, we've got another angle now. And he is... Well, it's...
You're going to look at it again.
We've got to look at the foot that was grounded first, because
Whether he had anything behind the line.
he did have... It appeared that he did have something behind the line. But the umpires are in conversation. And while they're having their conversation, we'd like to remind our viewers that it's not that foot, it's the one that touched down first. That's the one we're going to have to look at. Our folks in the replay center are going to have to pull it back just a little bit for us. But maybe they've gotten some confirmation outside there.
Yes.
And so he did have something behind the line on the first landing. So Preston McSween obviously would have said a prayer or two before he went out, and those prayers are answered with alacrity. So the Clove challengers are 97 for 6 and 4 legal deliveries remaining. Anything 100 or close to 100 can be a challenge on this ground. We've seen it before, a number of low-scoring games which turned out to be nail-biters. We've seen it before. Don't think today would be any different. He's picked him up. He's got some middle on it. They go for 1. 2 certainly would have been fatal.
Not quite probably what the skipper and the team may be wishing for at this moment, but the singles really wouldn't hurt the Gingers too badly.
Kazari Charles comes in to strike. As we said, he's not been a main feature in the Clove Challengers this season, but he needs to give a few belts here now. Slower delivery and beaten him well. That was smart bowling there from Ronald Williams. This one held back just a little bit, And Charles was head in the air looking to go straight into the trees, but with absolutely no connection, he lives on.
Yes. Knocked on the door and there was no one home yet. But again, Williams has been going through the variations. We saw him the other evening bowling very well.
Slower delivery again, and this is going to be danger here. Yes, he's taken it. He's beaten for pace on this one, and Ronald Williams picks up the wicket of Kazari Charles, and the Clove challengers are now 98 for 7.
Yeah, tremendous bit of bowling. And again, a lot of confidence the young man has to have to do it again. He bowled him a slow one earlier. He missed it. He said, here is one again. He'll have to go. He went after it and just peeling off very much in the manner in which we saw Robman Powell getting out against England the other night. Slower delivery outside the off stump and throwing the kitchen sink. Well, it's truly entire kitchen at it anyway. And getting the edge and being caught at backward point.
So as the sun continues to blare down here in the afternoon, it's just nearing 3:30 or thereabout. And it's been a good couple of days we've had for cricket. We did have some rain yesterday, which caused one of the games to be restructured according to the Duckworth-Lewis calculation system. And that, of course, produced a nail biter at the end of the team batting second, needing 53 from what, 3 overs, 55 from 3. It was almost an improbable start from the task from the start. Final delivery coming up. And they get a single off the last one. But a lot of direct hits here from these Ginger Generals out in the field. From the very start, we've said it, they've been bubbly, they've been on their toes, they've not been resting on their laurels at all, and they've been encouraging each other in the field, the Ginger Generals, and they've done pretty well to limit the Clove challengers to 98 runs, or just maybe a little more. We would know because the decision will come. The decision on the last direct hit there is still pending. But either way, it's under 100, and the Clove challengers will have some work to do when they get their chance out in the field to defend this score. All right, let's take a look at the scorecard quickly for you before we put a wrap on the innings here now. To write home about was Darren Ned. Darren Ned was explosive. He got to 32 off 19 deliveries, spent just about half an hour at the middle, and he was the main contributor there. And for the Clove challengers, we had 37 from Devani Joseph Smith. He was really explosive as well. Played a lot of great cricketing shots, this young man Smith. He got to 37 off 19 deliveries, and 14 from Haston Jackson. But those were the only 3 in double figures, really. Anything after that looked like an overseas number to somewhere in the UK, 009201. And those were the batting figures for the Clove challengers. Taking a quick look at the bowling for the Ginger Generals, the runs did come, but the pick of the bowlers, no doubt, was Laurie Williams. Laurie Williams was spot on from ball 1. He just went for 3 runs off his 2 overs and picking up 1 wicket, an economy rate of just under 1.5. Well, that was exquisite. After that, everyone got knocked around the park, but more importantly, what they have done consistently, the Ginger Generals, was picking up wickets, 2 wickets apiece for Bartholomew and Williams, and that pegged back these Clove challengers from the very start. They lost wickets early, and it was a struggle for them to find their momentum and find their way going through this innings.
Yes. So there were a message there for Max Dewey, the captain of the Cloves, that pace off probably is the way to go. All the batsmen, all the batters so far has struggled to get the slower bowlers away. What's left to be seen, what type of strategy they would employ, and of course psychologically not making 100 probably could just lend some confidence to the Ginger challengers. But again,
all right. Well, let's wait and see how it goes. The chase is up. We're going to have the chase in just a little bit when the Ginger Generals will go out to the middle to get to 100. The score finishing on 99 for 7. We'll see how that goes. You join us in about 3 minutes, and then we come back with the chase right here. right, well, the chase is on. We're back here at the at the Lassages playing field. There are a couple of grounds in these facilities around here, these parts of the country. We've got Lassages playing field, we've got Progress Park, we've got a number of villages where cricket is a mainstay, and Lassages, of course, being one of them. And here we are now, the Lassages playing field, the home ground of our two-time world champion Anderson Peters, the javelin thrower. But today's cricket, and we're poised for what will be an explosive encounter. The target is 100 even. The Clove challenge is getting to 99 for 7, and the Ginger Generals, they've got to get to 100. Now, gettable on this wicket, you think, Clyde?
Well, gettable if Jeremiah remains out there.
Well, immediately the scoreboard is active by way of buys. So Johan Jeremiah and his younger brother Jarrell Jeremiah out there in the middle for the Ginger Generals in search of an even 100. And we've seen this change up at the top. Usually it would have been Johan Jeremiah and Lyndon Lawrence. But what they've done is that they've dropped Lyndon Lawrence a little bit lower down the order, and they've brought up young Jarrell Jeremiah to stay outside there with his older brother, hoping that he can guide him along the way. So the Jeremiah brothers are out in the middle, and Dubiset is heading towards Jeremiah, who pulls. This is Jarrell. He can't beat the man on the onside, and they get just one.
Yeah, good start for young Jeremiah. It's good to get, one off the bat and make sure you feel what is happening out in the middle. He has done that. And so his work begins.
Amikel Dubiset. He's a police officer by profession. Stiff bowling from Dubiset. One turned into mid-wicket. He's very stiff when he can. Doesn't do much disguising with a slower one. He's just always right there, nagging and probing at the same time.
Yeah, and this is what you want if you're a Cinnamon Pizza fan. You just want him to be nagging right there, just at the wicket. The batsman miss, he's going to hit.
Peeling off the outside edge and goes down for one. So it's been a pretty long and strenuous few days. This tournament started on the 8th of June, and we've come through every day. Today is the 21st. It finishes tomorrow, the 22nd. And it's been cricket all day. And we've had one day that was totally rained out, and then a couple of days where we had a few truncated matches because of the weather. Oh, he played it late. He played it sweetly. He timed it to perfection. He deserved a whole lot more than that, but he's going to have to settle for just one. Oh, well, this is drama here. This is drama here. This is going to be interesting. Johan was halfway down the wicket calling for the second run. Jarrell was with his back turned, not even knowing.
Yeah, really.
Boy, oh boy.
The drama of T10 cricket, Jason. Clove challengers will be really extremely happy to see the back of Johan Jeremiah.
He's not even going to wait on the decision from the third umpire. He knows he was a full way out, but I'm not quite sure if it was Johan being ambitious or Jarrell being unaware.
Yeah, it's really good work there by Dubiset to collect and throw. He realized that how far away from the stump he was and made a really good throw. So definitely the Clove challengers will be happy for this type of breakthrough.
So the big man, Lyndon Lawrence, goes out to the middle. And the dangerous hitting Johan Jeremiah walks back, dejected. He's been run out by Dubisset.
Yeah, I think the entire Ginger General dugout will be really quiet now until you see what Lawrence serves up, because they know that they have lost a really key wicket. A man in form who has been striking it and striking it really well is gone.
Well, here's how it has to happen now. Generally, this is how it has to happen. When you're at the wicket and the senior batsman has run out because he thinks that you are a little bit absent-minded and should have come for the runs, it means now that you're charged with the responsibility of scoring what you had to score and what he would have scored. So young Gerald Jeremiah has a task ahead of him. He's driving past Dubisset. The Ginger Generals. Oh. They've got to settle down. And they've got to settle down quickly. An eventful first over. 7 runs coming off of it. But losing the wicket of the hard-hitting, explosive, dangerous Johan Jeremiah, the Ginger Generals. And the Clove Challengers with their tails up very early.
Well, tell you what, if this is the first over of the game and this is how it has played out, then I think the fans are in for a bit of drama here this evening, because it will definitely go down to who can execute and keep the pressure off of them. That would be the team to win.
I can't take 10 overs like this. My heart wouldn't allow me to. But let's see what's going to happen now. That was over number 1. 7 for 1. Casimir Charles now will come from the main pavilion end. Lyndon Lawrence, who has been in good striking form in his last couple of games, is out there at the middle. He sends them far with little effort. Wide. That's a naughty shot by Lawrence. You don't want to do that. It's a naughty shot.
Yeah, definitely you do not want to err in that region. There's a man just about backward point on the boundary, waiting for that square cut.
Let's beat everyone. Well, it's a good thing this is televised, because it would be very difficult to describe on radio. And too many anxious moments outside there. And you could understand why. A lot hinges on this game. A spot in the finals to meet the Nutmeg Warriors. Well, he's living outside that off stump there, Kazari Charles, and it's proven to be very expensive for him. The umpire continues to give him the invoice by waving his hands. That's some expensive real estate outside the right-handed Lyndon Lawrence.
Tell you what, if Charles can get that ball to touch down just a little closer to Lawrence with this sort of away movement.
Wow, this is danger here. Trouble again. He has spooned it up. The wicketkeeper settles under it and takes it. Lyndon Lawrence is walking back. He's gone for duck. Ginger General's in trouble.
And I was just about to say, if Charles, with the sort of bounce that he's getting and the pace that he has gone through, can get it closer to Lawrence, he could be in some problems. And I didn't even get a chance to really bring that forward. Lyndon Lawrence goes.
Well, well, well. Well, the Ginger Generals in a lot of trouble here. Gian Benjamin Goes out. He's a short man, but he's got a big, tall task ahead of him. He's not gotten off yet for the season. He's been flirting in around the teens, but they need him to bring something really massive today. He's got to get a big score. He has to bat through the innings if the Ginger Generals were to have a sniff at beating these Clove challengers here today.
Yeah, well, we're still in the second over, so he has a lot of overs to really show his class, show what he can do with the bat, and we know that he can be very, very explosive. A little pocket rocket, as we normally would call him. And so definitely he has enough time to prove that he can bring victory to the Ginger Generals.
11 for 2, and we're still inside over number 2, early inside over number 2. Kazari Charles. They've got to stable it. They've got to steady it.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on these two batters out there. They cannot really go into their shell. They need to continue striking. The total might be 100, but it still will take some getting.
Oh, the Ginger Generals, they've been moving very excited at the batting crease. Probably need to talk to the trainer downstairs. Get some ginkgo biloba to calm their nerves. That's good running. First time we've seen some good, clean, positive running between the wickets by the Ginger Generals. These two will need to keep the scoreboard moving. What is required is just about 10 3/4. Right now they're going at just over 7 3/4. So they've got a lot of picking up to do.
Yeah, they need to just get a couple quick boundaries. We're still into the power play.
Over the head of the bowler. This is danger here. Good attempt. Well. It's all happening. In the meantime, the batsmen are running and crossing, but Haston Jackson was going for broke there.
Yeah, really. Guys diving around, they know how much one run can make a difference.
Preston McSween, the captain, leading by example. A very close chance by Haston Jackson. He doesn't give much away. They're looking to see if it did go for 4. I think the ball got out of his reach just in time. Also, just maybe Gian Benjamin would have run one shot. They're looking at that as well.
Over.
So at the end of over number 2, more anxious moments here. The Ginger Generals giving us a thrill together with the Clove challengers. In search of 100, there are 16 for 2, 84 required, and 8 overs to get it.
Yeah, this game will take a lot of strategizing. The batters out there, you see the discussion going on. Definitely, they have to plan for these 2 next overs to complete the power play. They do not want to be too slow coming out of the power play. They want a bit of momentum. And so they need definitely to get a move on, at least get themselves close to maybe 30, and then you can build from there.
Amikel Dubisset will continue from the riverbank end. He's been extraordinarily stiff in his bowling. Well, he's got to be careful. Can't take much more of this. The excitement is too much.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's really edge of your seat stuff right here, because it could swing anywhere from here.
Just one. So while they pick up the singles here and there, I will tell you that the run rate will be of concern. The run rate will be of concern to these Ginger Generals. It should be at least. Two of their major hitters are back in the dugout. Slower delivery, well picked. Some anxious moments of indecision outside there in the middle between these two.
Yeah, the pressure is certainly on. You see the fielders, they're looking to cut off everything. Just making some slight blunders. Any bobble means that you give them an opportunity to get one or to get two.
Well, G.N. Benjamin has picked him up. G.N. Benjamin has picked him up and crashed him over mid-wicket for 6.
Yeah, good looking shot from Benjamin. Again, seeing the power that this young man has. Got into the line and just swung it across the leg side. Still playing with a straight bat, but just using a lot of his wrist to get it over that man there at deep mid-wicket. 6 more to him.
More runs by Benjamin here, just one.
Yeah. Good. I thought about that.
Some good looking shots by Benjamin. A lot more of this is what the Ginger General require. They want to make sure that they get the momentum that they need going in further into the innings. The loss of a wicket here will definitely change the complexion of the game.
Jeremiah is looking to go. It says ballooned into the air. The catch is going to be taken. Yes, it does. It's taken. And Jarrell Jeremiah is gone. 3 wickets down for 25. Ginger Generals in trouble.
Yeah, and as I was saying, a wicket at this stage really will set the Ginger Generals back. It means another batter has to come in and has to take a couple of deliveries just to make sure that he gets going, and definitely that is time that the Ginger Generals do not have.
Davis Charles is a new batsman that's coming in. And the Ginger Generals, they're standing at the bottom of a slippery slope on a rainy day and trying to get to the top. And that has proven to be extraordinarily difficult. Clove challengers, they were limited to 99. Their 10 overs. And so far they've done a fantastic job of defending that 99. A further 75 required. And 7 overs to get it.
Yeah, when 2 of their more prolific scorers in the tournament back in the hut, I mean, it's really an uphill task, as you said. But Benjamin, I know he has on his spikes, and he may just decide he wants to challenge that hill.
Can't beat the inner field. This is the start of the final over in the power play. And Benjamin looking for form. I saw him play last year. A more informed Benjamin would have waited a little bit, a fraction of a second, and played it a little later and pierced the inner field for 4. But he's searching for form this year. He's not picked up the kind of form that we've seen last year. But today will be the day for him if he has to do anything special. Again, can't middle it. Timing is an issue. But all credit to Kazari Charles, who has been bowling very well. He's been spot on. He's been on target. He's not giving the batsman any room to free his arms at all.
Yeah, the pace and the bounce that he's generating from the wicket is proving to be difficult for the batters so far.
Oh, the shot of catch just over the field and it goes for 4. So Gian Benjamin goes the aerial route, at least for a brief moment, picks up a boundary. Ginger Generals would welcome that. They need a whole lot more of that.
I'll tell you what, if he remains out there, then the possibility of them getting quite a few more is there, and he just needs to really stay at the wicket. The form would come.
Anela Samuel, good afternoon. Darren Buckmeyer. And Joseph, a couple of our viewers on social media. Those of you on our social media platforms, good afternoon. Benjamin is middled again. He can't beat Maxwell.
That's better. Bowlers coming right arm over. 2 deliveries to come. 2, yeah.
Maxwell has had some exquisite field placing. You can see him talking to his players all the way through. He's been throwing himself around in the field and leading by example. So these Clove challengers, they've got their tails up.
Yeah, I'm really...
Fuller delivery and played straight back to the bowler. That should have been now reaching to the boundary, just missing his placement and timing, Gian Benjamin. And at the end of the power play, the Ginger Generals are 31 for 3. Not a very good power play session for the Ginger Generals. I think the Clove challengers are on top at this stage. But it is cricket. Anything is possible.
You know, I'm happy, Jason, to see how the Clove challengers, whenever they score low totals, they come out with that sort of purpose to defend their score. And we saw them defend 82 against the Nutmeg Warriors. And, you know, really, I'm looking at them today and you can see the focus. You can see how intent they are on getting everything right in order to pull off a victory here today.
I've got to say good afternoon and a special thank you to a number of folks who would have worked diligently in ensuring that this T10 tournament turns out to be the success that it has been over the last couple of years. This year we want to say good afternoon and congratulations to Mario Christopher. All them. It's a wide ball, surely. Mario Christopher, of course, the physio downstairs. He's been like a mechanic. You see him every minute bandaging something, spraying something, taping up something, and players running back out on the field, and he's been exceptional with them. He's kept the players playing. That's a wayward shot, very uncharacteristic of Jarrell Jeremiah. Of Davis Charles. Jeremiah back in the hut. Was just about to tell you that Gerald Jeremiah, he was caught by Darren Ned of the bowling of Dubiset for 6. His brother Johan run out for 2. He's greeted him. That's a nasty bouncer there. He's greeted him nicely. Haston Jackson says, hey, young man. Davis Charles, it's me.
Yeah, really good short ball. And this is when you bowl a short ball, this is what you want. You want the batsman to really use his skills to either get out the way. In this instance, he couldn't really get out the way. He had to take it on the body.
No, you're not going to waste a short ball. I always believe a short ball has to hit the batsman so hard that he must contemplate whether or not he wants to be outside there. Anything other than that is a waste of the delivery. It has to hit the batsman. I know it might sound violent, but I think it is what it is. Pitched up and bowled him. Well, bowled him. Haston Jackson has turned up. And Gian Benjamin goes for 15. Well, more drama at La Sagesse. Ginger Generals in deeper trouble.
Yeah, they're really up against it. The Ginger Generals are losing Gian Benjamin at this time, really proving to be something of a really big deal for the Clove challengers. They would feel that they have one grip on a spot in the finals.
Batsman here, fella. Batsman here, let's go.
33 for 4. The last wicket going down. Gian Benjamin bowled Jackson for 15. Ginger Generals standing in a very dangerous position. 33 for 4. Shea Duncan goes out to join Davis Charles. They can be considered a fairly new pair. Davis Charles is on 2. Gian Benjamin just gone. Shea Duncan coming out, he's on 0. Haston Jackson was electric.
Yeah, he must. Right now, the confidence of the Clove challengers will be on a high. And they will be looking to stifle the Ginger Generals. Somebody in the general command needs the command from here.
Anxious moments. He's beaten him. He was clueless about that delivery. Haston Jackson is working up some pace here.
Yeah, again, you appreciate the pace and the bounce that these Clove challenger bowlers have been getting. You saw it with Kazari Charles, and now you're seeing it with Haston Jackson. Pace and bounce.
How did that miss? Or did everything move?
Well, it had the pace and a bit of sideways movement. I think that really challenged the batter there. Just got that ball to shape away from the right-hander. So he was playing down the wrong line.
You see Shea Duncan being very apprehensive in his batting. He's taken the single at the end of 5, 34 for 4. These Ginger Generals, they've been on a slow boat to China this afternoon.
Yeah, well, when you lose 2 of your key strikers very early, it does put pressure on the rest of the batters. And if you give the opponent an opportunity to really put pressure on you, you have to be able to respond. And so far, they have not been able to respond, the Ginger Generals.
Haston Jackson has beaten the batsmen consistently in his first over. His first over just going for 3, picking up 1 wicket. It's the wicket of Benjamin. .66 required, 30 deliveries remaining. 66 from 30, that's still gettable. Mathematically anyhow.
Right ball.
Yeah, I think a lot will hinge on this over from Darren Ned. This being the 6th over. From here on in, the rate will get a bit steeper.
Slower delivery and picked nicely just for 1. And Darren Ned has been on point so far. Good variation in his pace as well. Celebrity Squad versus the GCA All-Stars coming up this afternoon at 5 o'clock. And that's just about 45 minutes away. The GCA All-Stars and the Celebrity Squad. Ballooned in the air. This could be danger here. A chance. And he's dropped. It goes down. Well, he just fell asleep there for a moment. Out in the deep. Calvin Blanche should have taken it.
Well, I think Blanche, recognizing that this pair is not really striking it much, so he decided to just let them stay in. Don't want to get him out now.
Beaten for pace. They rushed onto him quickly. Rushed on to Duncan quickly. Couldn't get it away. He was trying to play it into the onside, really. But it got big on him. Just 1. Oh, he did get 4, did he? Yes. Cameraman Cullen Dragon, good afternoon. I know it's been a long few days. He's not generally slow. He's always on point. 2 cameramen they are right at the stumps, in line with the stumps. Cullen Dragon and Kirk Oliver. They do listen to commentary and laugh as well. The shout of catch is not going to carry. Jackson is there. They're not going to challenge the arm of Jackson. They're going to settle for 1. They're not going to challenge Jackson's arm. In the meantime, the over rate continues to balloon. What is required now is 13.38. And they're stepping along in stilettos on 7 3/4. Up in the air. This one could be dangerous. It could spell some trouble. Well, I think Darren Ned missed a golden opportunity there. Or was it Smith? It was the bowler, so that was Ned. It was a golden opportunity there for a run out. That should have been another wicket down. So Clove challengers need to just steady themselves now because they don't want to lose shape here. The Ginger Generals are struggling. Still 44 for 4.
Tell you what, the luck just seems to be with the Ginger Generals, and one would hope, or the fans of the Ginger Generals would hope, that they can ride that luck and maybe get themselves to victory. It's not impossible. Still game on.
You were so close to it. It's what we call staying on the jetty and and missing the C. He didn't even have to throw it. He could have just, you know, I thought he just wanted to shatter the stump so much that he missed everything. Got to keep your composure. Celebrity squad captained by Grenadian former West Indies wicketkeeper Junior Murray. Coincidentally, the coach for the celebrity squad is Andre Fletcher. I wonder how that is going to turn out. Andre Fletcher is the kind of coach that may very well want to sack a player and go onto the field himself.
Yeah, it will be interesting to see Coach Fletcher in action later.
He's generally an animated character when he's not on the field playing. It's going to be a lot of fun, I can tell you that. Boise and Peck Jones, Leadneck, Dash, Squeezehead, DJ Kingpin, Merv, Ron Redhead, Nolan Cox, Neelan Pascal, Delisha Francois.
Again, Jackson just keeping that pressure on.
Jackson went for 3 in his first over. But he's been really stiff, as you say, especially with his pace. He's been expressed this afternoon. Oh, he's beating him again. Wow. If Jackson continues to beat them like that, they may have to call him Papa at the end of this spell.
Yeah, Jackson really working up some good steam, beating the outside edge, beating the inside edge. What would happen next? We wait to see. Is he going to bring in the slower delivery, or is he going for pace on?
Should be penalized for this one.
Again, using the short delivery, Jackson.
I'm not going to take very much more of this. Too many anxious moments. I'm going to leave you, Clyde, in the capable hands of Justin Hector at the end of this over. Can't get Jackson off this inner circle. He's been rushing in very stiff. I think the slower one will come now.
Yeah, so far really a miser in terms of his deliveries.
So just one. These Ginger Generals were pegged back very early after the loss of Johan Jeremiah in a run-out that was almost comical. And then, of course, losing the big man, Lyndon Lawrence, not too long after. And then Gian Benjamin, so they've lost a couple of their big hitters. And since then, they've been struggling and fighting to keep themselves relevant. They've got Haston Jackson to deal with. He's been brutal with his pace. Connection. But, Blash is there. Can't beat Blash. And that brings up the end of over number 7. 18 deliveries remaining. 53 runs to get. If they're going to give themselves a fighting chance, it's going to be very explosive. I will not take it from the commentary booth. I will go downstairs and I will have a look from the sideline. I would leave you, Clyde, in the capable hands of Justin Hector. And I may be having sufficient vocal cords to do the presentation ceremony, depending on how this one turns out.
Well, the Clove challengers, they will feel happy. I think they're in a place of comfort, and they just need to really execute well the next 2-3 overs, and definitely they can say that they're on their way to the finals. Ginger General, they need to come up big and really clear the ropes by as often as they can if they're going to get any chance of bringing in this 53 runs that is adrift. Shot down to mid on, no, just 1 run. The Cinnamon Pacers bowlers, the Ginger Clove Challenger bowlers have really been on point. I think this is the type of disciplined bowling that, you know, restricts teams. So far, they've come in really well.
I did say earlier that they're not going to enjoy a limo ride in in chasing this. They're really not going to ride a limousine on way to trying to get a total, and it's turning out just that way.
Yeah, it's been a good disciplined approach from them so far. It's been peace and all peace. What is good about the piece is that it has been consistent. It's been online and really forcing the batters to do uncharacteristic things. These two trying to rebuild, but it's really building while they have to go search for the building materials.
I will tell you what they've been building anyway, if you're not aware. They've been building a hole for themselves, because the only thing you could build from the top or from the surface is a hole. And from the beginning of the innings, it was down, down, down they were going.
That's gone. That's a lovely hit. That's a lovely hit there from Davis Charles. Just picking up the line. Ned missing his length somewhat. And really the first delivery that has been pitched of that length and has been dispatched by Davis Charles.
Well, we hope there is some more in the bank. And because if this match is going to feature into anything of a challenge or
slow delivery, and as you were saying, a hole. Somehow, I think the Ginger Generals may be looking to get a little swimming pool somewhere at the side out here. So they're digging themselves a hole.
Yeah, certainly dug themselves into a deep, deep, deep hole. And it's difficult to see them coming, getting out of it. They're scoring at the moment, they're scoring at 7. At that rate, they will only muster about 70. So that will be, I mean, a really, really huge victory. But one we must note too is that Clove has defended some very, very small totals. So it means that they have really, really done well in defending totals. And we did talk earlier about what type of strategy they would implement. Remember, the spinners did all the hard work in the first inning. And we were wondering if they will go that way. In fact, we just seen Cott Murray, the spin, probably spin for the first time. So a totally different strategy to that of which the Ginger implemented while they were out in the field.
Yeah, well, the Clove Challengers, they have some decent pacers in their lineup, and they've used them to perfection, I would put it. And now Murray, who has been among the leading wicket takers in the tournament, comes in. And he has the opportunity to maybe get closer to Williams, Ruel Williams, who is at the moment leading with some 12 wickets.
And could pose a challenge being a left-arm orthodox spinner against the two right-handers who are out there.
Yeah, good start there by Murray, just moving it away from Duncan.
That's the challenge I was talking about.
Oh, that one again, just going over the stump. So far, Murray has been on target.
That's okay. That's
So the third man on the backward point, maybe in business.
yeah.
Yeah, the Clove challengers, they've really come up trumps today. Gratuitous edge by Charles brings up another boundary.
They will take that. I think. So the gods were merciful on that occasion, just passing the leg stump.
That's okay. That's one of these days, you know.
Again, they're fighting the Ginger Generals. They're not going to give up. They're going to continue to fight. But unfortunately, the kind of fight that is needed, they need to get some airplanes because they need something going over the ropes. Again, hit down to long on. So just a single, long off rather. That's a single. Yeah, they need some pretty big. You have 7 deliveries. If we multiply that by 6, we get 42. It's not going to get there. 42 cannot be gotten on by keeping the ball on the carpet. So, what an interesting development. 1 over 6 balls. Somebody needs to clear the rope 6 times if the Ginger Generals are going to pull off a victory. Can they do it? This is really a matchup that I wish the Ginger Generals would go after.
Well, the consolation is it has happened already in cricket, so nothing is impossible. But if I was a betting man, I certainly wouldn't put my money on them getting it. I don't know if you're a betting man, which way you would place your bet.
Well, that's the good thing is that I'm not a betting man. And even if I was, I wouldn't bet my money at this stage. Maybe earlier, you might have got me betting. But at this stage, it would not be too wise. Preston Maxwin, he's going to bowl the final over from the pavilion end. And there we had it, the first delivery from Maxwin, and so mathematics coming into play, save and except a no ball that goes for 6. The impossibility begins.
Yeah, not even a probability exists now.
Well, the game of glorious uncertainties.
Well, the captain has taken the responsibility. So if they were going to hit the 6 sixes, they would have had to hit it. They would have had to take the captain to the cleaners. I guess you would the one that would have to take responsibility for whatever happened.
Yeah, clinical performance by the Clove challengers. It's really good to see the way that they have kept things quiet, kept things tight. And this one goes high in the air. And somebody's going to get on there. The keeper gets there. And Davis Charles goes. A well-played 19 from 16 deliveries. did all that he could to get the Ginger Generals into a position of victory, but unfortunately, he got to go, and they're still a long way away with impossibility staring down their face.
Yes. So it's all over by the shouting. I think it's, but when we were on commentary earlier, when, of course, Ginger had the turn of the crease, we did see, in analyzing the whole situation, that we never thought they would chase that down. It's a difficult score. Anything around 100 is a difficult score. And it begs the question now, what total can Clove not be able to defend? Is there a total that they cannot defend? They have certainly defended some very small totals so far in the tournament.
Well, when it's your day, it is your day. When it goes right for you, it just goes right. And I think they've done all that they needed to do for things to go right, and they have played the better game. I think they, from the onset, seen the back of Jeremiah, who really punished the Cinnamon Pacers the day before.
Left arm over.
Once you see his back, then you know you have an opportunity. And when you got Lawrence, I think the opportunity doubled.
There's a saying that, well, things have certainly gone south for the Ginger Warriors. Well, they've gone in the habitat. They've gone down. The Ginger, remember, is on the ground. So they've gone into hiding. We'll see them again for Christmas.
Kavon Bartholomew just pulling out the long handle there, getting that one into the gap, and he will pick up a boundary. Again, you really have to spare a thought for these under 19 cricketers, Cleveland Bartholomew being one of them. I think they've really been a good feature in this year's T10 tournament. They have done well generally. You look at Devonnie Joseph Smith, you look at Cutson Murray, Dante Alexander, you look at Rikel Sylvester, Corey Celestine. These guys have really done well. And what is more impressive is that this is their first time in the T10 tournament. Well, that brings the end to this playoff match to determine who joins the Nutmeg Warriors in the final of the Dream 11 Spice Isle T10 tournament. And the Clove Challengers, they have come up victorious. They have defeated the Ginger Generals. A comprehensive victory for the Clove Challengers, and they will be happy.
Indeed, they will be. I'm just smiling. Nothing to do with the game that is on, but probably the next attraction, which is the game following this. We've just seen the Honorable Ron Redhead doing his drills, his warm-ups. I did walk past him and said, "We have given you 50 to start." He said, "I'll take that." Anyway, but it was a really good performance by the Cloves. They never looked like, you know, they were out of the game at any point, especially once they have gotten to 98, 99. It was always going to be an uphill task, especially if Jeremiah and Lawrence didn't contribute handsomely to the cause. And as it was, it wasn't. And maybe Jeremiah can look back at the run out and maybe probably on another day he may not have attempted that second run. And of course, he took a good one. A good one got rid of Lawrence. It was smart bowling. Took him home with a short one. And this, in essence, was probably the beginning of the end for them.
Yeah, well, just to run through the batting card for the Ginger Generals, Johan Jeremiah, as we said, he was run out by Devonnie Joseph for 2. Gerald Jeremiah, he was caught Ned, bowled Dubiset for 6. Lyndon Lawrence caught Hazard, bowled Charles, no score. Gian Benjamin, he was bowled by Jackson for 15. His 15 coming off 12 deliveries, 1 6 and 1 4. And we have
Charles.
Che Duncan not out 12. Cavan Bartholomew 4. And basically these are your contributors. 68 for 5, the Ginger Generals. Bowling for the Clove Challengers. Some really impressive stuff from all of the pacers on show. Amikel Dubisset, his 2 overs went 14 runs, 1 wicket. Kazari Charles, his 2 overs went for 12, picking up 1 wicket. Haston Jackson, his 2 overs went for 6, picking up 1 wicket. Darren Ned, his 2 overs went for 19. He didn't pick up a wicket. Cut Murray, his 1 over went for 7. Didn't pick up a wicket. And Preston McSween, 1 over. His 1 over went for 4, and he picked up 1 wicket. So there you had it. We're going to go down to Kerry for the post-match presentation once he's ready. But in the meantime, I'm telling you, get ready. Get ready. We are about to see the celebrity squad come up against the GCA All-Stars. And I'm going to be looking to see what a few of these guys have to offer. My good friend Casimir Peck Jones, off-break bowler, all-round batter. Kendall Ledneck George, and we know him to be a hard-hitting batsman. Shondell Dasha Mede. Well, Shondell, I think, will definitely position himself as an all-rounder. You have the hard-hitting Geelong Boise Olive. And what is interesting there is that he was the captain of a Grenada team at the Windward Islands tournament. So, Kerry, if you're ready. All right, we're just waiting on Kerry. So once Kerry is ready, we'll go down to him. But
in the meantime, we've seen a few minutes ago, of course, the celebrity team in warm-up. Some very interesting characters in there.
Okay, so we're going to go down to Kerry.
All right, thank you very much, Rondell. We now here for the presentation for match number 32 in the Dream 11 Spicel T10 Tournament qualifier number 2. Booking the big ticket to the big dance for the first time in the final, the Clove Challengers. And tomorrow they'll be coming up against 4-time finalists, Nutmeg Warriors. First of all, we're going to present the Player of the Match award to Devoni Joseph Smith, who's going to receive his award from the Assistant Secretary of the Grenada Cricket Association, Cherise Noel. Devoni, first of all, congratulations. You've won a couple of these before in the tournaments, but so far that must be the most important player of the match for you in this tournament.
Of course. It's always a good team to show up when the team needs you, and I'm glad that today I was able to show up when the team needed me the most, so thank you for that.
Started the tournament at the top of the batting order, now coming in the middle. How have you adjusted your game to the new batting position?
It's all about spending time in the wicket and, putting away the bad balls, so I can adapt in any situation, so it's always there.
Tomorrow, Clove Challenger is the biggest match for you guys in the 4 years of the tournament, coming up in the finals. What can we expect from you and the team tomorrow?
It's victory for sure. But yeah, it's always a great feeling. It's my second year in this tournament and my second year in the finals. So looking forward to it.
All right, well, Devoni, congratulations again, and we look forward to seeing another good performance tomorrow.
Thank you.
We're now going to have some words with the captain of the Ginger Generals. That is going to be Johan Jeremiah. Johan, not the results you wanted today, but a good tournament for you guys overall.
Yeah, I just want to say congrats to Clove. It's unfortunate, that's how the game goes sometimes. So it's just for us to go back and assess and look to come stronger next year.
You guys, we could have seen some improvements from last year to this tournament. As a captain, how did you see your team performing this year?
Yeah, I'm still pleased in some areas, as I said, Ginger didn't do well for the last 2 years. I don't think we've been finishing in the top 4. So I think that's something we still have to be proud of.
In terms of the resilience of your players, has been short a few players for the last couple of matches. The guys, T11, take the field every time they go out there and put in a good performance.
Yeah, I just had to commend the guys. It's a young bunch of guys. We still have a few core players with the Ginger team. So nevertheless, I'm still happy with the performance.
We have some big matches. Next up, we have the Celebrities versus the All-Stars. Who is your pick for that matchup?
I'm going with the Celebs.
All right, so celebrities have one in the bag. And tomorrow, the big final. I'm sure you guys will be coming down here. And what do you think would be needed for any one of the teams to lift the cup tomorrow?
Yeah, I think it's the both teams been playing good branded cricket. So tomorrow, cricket is a game of glory and uncertainty. So we just have to wait to see tomorrow who plays a better game.
All right.
To wish both teams all the best.
All right, thank you very much, Ewan, and thank you to the Ginger Generals for entertaining us for season 4. Looking forward for 2 more of you guys in the future.
Thank you.
Now we're going to have a word with the victorious captain of the Clove Challengers, Preston McSween. Preston, you guys took the long way to the party, the big dance, but you're into the big dance finally.
Of course, I cannot be any happier. The guys actually put out their foot and, do a job for the team, because at the starting of the season, we talked about the importance of, playing good cricket. And with the team that I picked in the draft as well, I was happy with it. So happy to see that everybody come to the party and everybody's having fun, and we're on to the finals.
Number of batters have done well for you, the likes of Darren, Ned, Jackson, but certainly the star would have been Devonnie Joseph with his resilience, whether batting at the top or in the middle.
Yes. It's one of the picks that I had in my mind from before the tournament. And I actually talked to him up in Pearls. And I told him the role I wanted him to play, and he actually did really well.
Your batters have done well, but your bowling has been something special, probably the best bowling unit of the tournament. What can you say about your bowlers so far in this tournament?
Well, as I always say, bowlers win youth championships, so I heavily believe on that. So it's just about going out there and hit the straps. The wicket is actually really good, so it's about keeping your composure and delivering.
Tomorrow, you guys playing in the finals for the first time against a team that has been in all 4 finals of the tournament. What would be your mindset heading into that matchup, and what can we expect from you guys tomorrow?
Well, it's another day of cricket, It's just about going out there, and once we hit our straps, we will definitely stand a chance of winning. That's all.
I did ask you and Jeremiah, celebrities versus all-stars. Who's your pick for the big matchup coming up?
Well, no pick, it's just good competition. I have a few friends on All-Stars, and I still have a few friends on the next team, so cannot support.
All right, well, Preston, congratulations, and we look forward to see you guys in the big dance tomorrow.
Thank you.
So that was Preston McSween taking the middle road, doesn't want to go A or B. But stay tuned, we will be having shortly the big matchup, the GCA All-Stars coming up against the President's 11.